If you're looking for a different way to easily prepare asparagus, this chilled asparagus with a light dashi broth works especially well on a hot summer day. This recipe is inspired by one of my first memories in Taiwan, when I wanted so badly to be a part of a family that cooked and ate together. I'd love to show you how to make this, so let's get started. So here we have the asparagus. You want to make sure the ends are dense and not too spongy. The tip should be pretty tight, and here we're looking for dark green and purple colors. Now I'm going to show you how to cut it for this dish. You can easily snap the ends off, since the asparagus naturally snap where it's fibrous. Or you can line it up and cut them off with the chef's knife. It's totally up to you, personal preference. To cut the asparagus on a bias easily, instead of doing it one by one, I like to line up a few and fan them out at an angle before cutting it down the middle. This will give you these beautiful angled cuts. We want to mix the sauce first so that it has a chance to cool down by the time our asparagus is ready to marinate. First, add 1.5 teaspoons of dashi granules. This is super convenient replacement for homemade dashi broth, so I like to keep it stocked in my pantry all the time. And then I'm adding 3/4 teaspoons of sugar and 3/4 cups of water. And then 3 teaspoons of low sodium soy sauce. Bring the sauce to boil and dissolve the sugar and immediately remove it from the heat. Transfer it to a bowl so it has time to cool before we have our asparagus prepared. We're going to blanch and chop the asparagus so that they're cooked but retain a nice crunch. So here's 1 quart of boiling water with 3 tablespoons of kosher salt. You want to remember to season blanching water because it really helps to enhance the natural flavors of the vegetable. And since the sauce is so light, it helps to season in steps. Let the water come back to a boil, and when asparagus turns bright green after about 2 minutes, transfer it to an ice bath to shock. Make sure not to leave it in the ice bath for too long or it'll absorb too much water. Then add the chilled asparagus into a container and cover the cool dashi broth and let it marinate in the fridge overnight. This way, the asparagus will absorb the subtly sweet and savory flavors of the broth to go along with the smokiness of the dashi. You can snack on it right away, but I think the wait is totally worth it. The chilled asparagus with the light dashi broth that we just made straight from the fridge. It's been really hot, so this is really nice and refreshing. A good crunch. The dashi broth is subtle, but I can taste it. It's really nice smokiness and umami flavor after this has been marinating. And if you can smell it, every bite I take, I can smell that black sesame, which is really nice. I was inspired to make this recipe from one of my first memories in Taiwan. I'd visit, and I remember my grandma would wake up super early in the morning and go to the market. to buy the freshest produce from local farmers. She'd bring it back and she'd just cook it really simply with a really light sauce. And my cousins and I would get so excited. We'd run to the dining table and all eat together. I remember thinking I was pretty jealous that they got to do that every day. I didn't really get to spend that much time with my parents. So I'm really hoping that this recipe can help you bring similar memories to your table. If you're looking for another asparagus recipe, great for a hot day, I have asparagus ribbon salad that's really colorful. The ribbons are beautiful. Just click on the card and I'll see you there.